Oh, hey guys. So, yeah, rates have taken a hard fucking drop. The average reefer rate right now is $2.15, and I don't even know who the fuck's getting over $2 a mile. Okay, to be fair, when I say over $2 a mile, I really mean my cut, because yeah, a lot of these lows do pay over $2 a mile. But let's be honest, do I really care about do I care what the overall gross is, or do I care about my cut? I don't kind of care about both, but $2.15 though, ouch. And some people will play the blame game, be like, oh, it's the broker's this, broker's that. Well, it's kind of a mixture of things. Too many trucks, and it's not bleeding off fast enough. There was, for about 5 months, 6 months, closer to 5 months last year, maybe 4, a lot of companies were kind of holding the line and saying, no, $2 is a floor. Can't really run. That's why Heartland is taking, was it 2 quarters now, 3 quarters of losses, is because they just refuse to drop their rates. Well, there's a difference between COVID rates and operating rates, and they're at 105, 106% operating. Their OR, pretty much, if they make $1 a mile, right, it takes them like $1.05 to run. So, yeah, they're losing money. They've lost a lot, but if they have the fucking the cash flow do that and the money on hand do that, fine. I don't see how they do it more than a year, though. Something's gonna have to give on their end. You can't just give up millions and just be okay. Also, this phone's crooked. Let's try it. Maybe? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Alright. We last left off going to North Carolina. I knew I was going to probably feel it this week. I made the best of the situation, though. Some shit happened, though, so this week could have been better. Especially this one load. But like last week, I made 7K gross. My cut was, I'm trying to do math, like 61, 62, top of my head. This week, broken into 6s. I'm trying to remember top of my head. I didn't do the math, but you'll find out when I title this shit, because I was always like to know what my gross is. You're seeing my gross. You're not seeing the overall gross. You're seeing what I profit. Well, not profit. I technically it's revenue, so it's my cash flow. Then I pay shit, which thankfully this truck is a lot cheaper to run. I have a lot more, not a lot, but a decent chunk of revenue left over. If I can start getting to 7,000s again, oh my god, the cash will start fucking flowing. Which it should start happening. It seems like going into June, because pretty much coming out of the house, I just started having $7,000 weeks again. But if you guys noticed, other than that 1 month, but there was circumstances in there, I've been very consistent from February to now. It's at $6,000 range. So yeah, there's a couple weeks here and there. Broke down in Green Bay. That fucked that week all up. That was on pace to be a good week. Yeah, decent week. Honestly, I care more about gross than I do rate per mile, because rate per mile can only get you so far. With gross, I can kind of play with the numbers. You can't really, you can't really do that so much with rate per mile, because eventually that's gonna run out. Like if you run 2,000 miles, but you only did $2, you did 2,000 miles, but all you got was what? Let's just say 250 miles. So sure, you got $4,500. Excuse me. Can't do math. But I don't know. It's probably was right. But you get the fucking point, right? There's a ceiling there. Like it can only go so far. However, though, if I run like $1.70, $1.80, but I made $7,000, well, that extra difference gives me a lot to play with. It may not be as profitable as it could be, but it's also about the cap. I care more about the cap. I don't know if that makes sense. It may not always be the smart business move, but when you're, I don't know. So when I'm trying to get going, right, trying to build my cap, my overhead back up, I need the extra revenue. Like, I don't care. Now, if I was set up, I'd be okay with the rate per mile. I would be okay with that. But I'm not. I just spend fucking so much money. Okay. I need to get back. Which also part is why I'm gonna start going home differently. Well, let's be honest. I haven't been home in a year, right? Almost 15 months by the time I go home. Which, fuck that, by the way, guys. The only reason I did that, though, I was sacrificing. For what? This. What I'm sitting in. Now it's time to start going home about every 2.5 months this year for about 2 weeks. And it's a good compromise. And really, the only reason why it's like 2.5 months-ish is because really there's one big bill that I need to make sure I'm set up for, because that one's, well, it's big. And it has nothing to do with this. It's a home bill. It's one bill. I guess, pretty sure you guys know what it is. Pretty sure. Just go back and look what happened last year. But yeah, if I can go back, I probably would not have done that at the moment. But whatever. It's not gonna fucking sink me, but whatever. Need my toys sometimes, you know. Alright, let's get into it. It's fucking goddamn 7 minutes into it. How do I take such a little fucking video, a little topic, and just, it's talent, I guess. Alright, so I went to North Carolina. I had a reload for $1.80. Not great for Carolinas. That's good. We would have picked up Saturday and delivered Monday in St. Louis. I'm heading down there and it falls apart. And now I'm dealing with scraps, and it fucking sucks when you're playing with scraps sometimes. You don't plan on loads canceling. That's the whole point of being pre-planned, having a reload set up beforehand. But sometimes it cancels the worst times, and well, you get fucked for it. So, with that said, let's get into it. Alright, so found this load from Wilson, North Carolina to Hazelwood, Missouri. Still wanted to go up to St. Louis, right? Still did that. Now, it was a dry load, but for anybody who generally pulls dry loads on reefers, generally means they're heavy. 79 miles deadhead. Normal for Carolinas, you're going to deadhead usually. Loaded was 879 miles, 958 miles total, okay? So 2 different. Load paid $12.43. My cut was $10.93 for $1.14 a mile. Fucking garbage. Pretty much, I had a whole trailer full of Mountain Lightning, and made by Refresco. It was a hub transfer. Refresco to Refresco, dry load. Broke was Glen Raven. Doubt I'm gonna do that load again. It was just due to circumstances. It also was 43,000 fucking pounds. I did experiment with the truck this week. I did finish the week with 7.1 mpg. For those who have been around since I've gotten this Volvo, that's a record for me. That's a record for this truck. This truck's average 7.0 its life. I hit 7.1, and I hadn't seen that. So, making progress. But what I did 65 for this trip. Part of that's because I knew it was going to be heavy. There was a lot of wind. And also, I had to get up to fucking 64, and I got like 5.3 pretty much all the way to Lexington. Then I got like 8. Yeah, about 8. So, this truck can get MPG. And I did get good MPG for the rest of the week. Because obviously, it's 5.3 to 7.1 with some wind. I did experiment though to 65 when I was heavy and was windy. So it's been twice. That was the longest. The other time was, the finish this week out was like 300 miles. A lot of crosswinds, and I'm heavy again, but I was heavy again. Otherwise, I did about 68. I'm trying to see what I can do, because honestly, to be honest, do I really care about 2 mile an hour difference, 68 to 70? No. If I need the speed, I can just tap into it. I do have it. Doesn't mean just because I'm not using it. All right. Now, okay, with that out of the way now, I'm like, now I need to maximize. I did that 1 tank of fuel. From North Carolina, where'd I fill up? Just west of Raleigh, I believe. I'm trying to remember. No, it's that weird W-ass town. What the fuck is that W town? The big long fucker. I don't remember. But I filled up there for like 336. And I got almost 1,600 miles. I didn't fill up till after my second reload, which is coming up. And only because of the wind. And also it was another heavy fucker. And actually I think I did I did get like 7.5 mpg though on this one. So picked up in Edwardsville, going to Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. I live in Wisconsin, so I mean this one kind of talked to me even though it wasn't very good. 19 miles deadhead, that kind of helps. 521 miles loaded, day run. 540 miles total. $1,000. I talked them up too. They only originally wanted to pay my cut, actually less than my cut. They were originally wanted to pay like $800, $750, something like that. I got them up to $1,000, so now I made my cut $880. Not great, $1.62 a mile, right? Like I said though, this is also, rates have kind of slowly kept dropping each week too, it seems like. So kind of playing with what I got here. So I figured day runs to finish up, just to close out the week, would be the best way to maximize the money, keep my mileage down, which I still ended up doing fucking 3,200 miles. So whatever. I don't know. It's funny how miles was rack up. Anheuser-Busch going to Flanagan Distribution. Great place, by the way. Flanagan, great. Brook Woods RTS. It was a reefer load though, because I had 4 pallets of kegs and I needed to protect them from freezing. So 36 degrees, start stop, 42,000 pounds. Whatever. But it actually wasn't that bad because I did get good fuel mileage. But like I said, I only filled up once there. And I could have made it more, but I did fill up on the way back. And in Denmark, yeah, it was like 1,500, almost 600 miles, something like that. I don't remember doing the math. Found a load. Okay. This one paid good. This one did good. Plymouth, Wisconsin to Canton, Michigan. Dead at 110 miles. You guys might hear licking or whatever. It's a cat literally behind you in the totes, which I may show just so you can see I'm not bullshitting. Like, this truck's not set up. The reason why you haven't seen it inside, hence shit that needs to go back home. Like, Switch games, that are opened. And this is the case, by the way. Yeah. Protection. Cat litter bag, it's just wherever fucking shit fits right now. Alright, now back to what's getting. Deadhead 110. A lot of deadhead, but let's be honest. I was east of Green Bay. There's not much around there. It's like, I was on the fucking tip. Beautiful place, though. Loaded was 410. Total miles, 520. Easy day run, right? 1375. They would not go up either. I tried getting like an extra $100, $200. I was like, if I can make a $3 a mile, well, for overall gross, that would kind of help with the rest of help. So the more money I make on other loads, the way I look at it, the more money I help on other loads kind of helps out the previous loads. Because I'm shooting for a week. I don't care so much about one load. One load could be bad, 2 loads could be bad. But as the rest of the week kind of come together. My cut was 1210. So paid $2.32 a mile. It was Satori Cheese, also a great place. They load early, have overnight parking. Going to Blue Line. Overnight parking, it's Little Caesars, by the way. That's what that is. That was my first time there, and I'm not gonna. One of the guys was a jackass. Like, I asked him because I was there for a few hours, like 3 hours, and I went back in. I was like, hey, I have another appointment. What are we looking at here? And I love the attitudes, but whatever. Let me get to the rest of it and I'll go back to that. Broker was Armstrong, 35 degrees continuous, 40,000 pounds. My load locks were in place when I opened the door, but pallets shifted. Were not happy because of that. As soon as I said, well, never just waking up, it seems like, but as soon as they found out my load shifted, because I pointed out to them right away, the attitude changed immediately, and I was the last truck to get out of there, which, fuck you for that, fuckers. I had an appointment. It's not my fucking fault. I did my job. Get on the shipper. They're the ones that fucking saran wrapped the shit, plastic wrapped it. My load locks were in place. They never moved. 7 pallets shifted. Two in the rear, which had the load locks against it, but the load locks kind of prevent it from going back and forth. What it doesn't do is you have pallet like this, this shit. So eventually it goes. That's plastic wrapping, right? That's your saran wrap. It could just be one off, or it could just be where that's them. Who fucking knows? Both places overnight parking, so I kind of cut them slack because of that. Now, I had a great load. This is a load I normally would never have done or considered. I'm going to tell you it, then I'll break it down. So, this was a return trip. I normally avoid these because I don't like generally go back to the same area I'm trying to get out of. But it was Kalamazoo, so quite a bit deadhead, right? To Rochester, Indiana, Warsaw, Indiana. Then I bring back, there's flowers. I bring back the racks that the flowers get shipped out on. I bring them back to Kalamazoo. It paid almost $3 a mile though. Generally, that's why I considered it, right? So let's get into it. Deadhead, $11.50 for the gross cut. My cut was $10.12. Deadhead was $1.16. Loaded was $2.56. Yeah, fucking nice. And that's with the return trip. Total $3.72 for $2.72 a mile. Dan and Jerry's going home and harvest. West Michigan was the broker. 55 degrees continuous. But wait, it toned. I got over there. My trailer does not have E-Tracks. This is I was the first broker load. They do these loads a lot, normally in dry vans. I guess this load needed a reefer, and this is the first one they've done with the reefer. So they weren't aware about the E-Tracks. Which, what's the difference on the fucking dry vans? Do you just nail in place? But I had load locks, and honestly, even the broker agreed with me, which is odd. Brokers don't normally agree with you, but doesn't matter if they agree with you. He literally told me I'm not going to argue with the customer. So, makes sense. When the market's tough, you don't lose a customer. But I said, they pretty much told me how they're loading them in, right? So they're putting them in sideways into the trailer. So I'm doing this so you can see it, but they're going in sideways. Just nose the reefer, going in sideways, right? So they're doing this. So if they do it correctly enough in there, I can load lock them. They don't weigh as much as pallets. I can press a load lock against them because the load locks I can put wherever the fuck I want in the trailer. Ain't gonna go anywhere. And the broker's like, yeah, I agree, but I can't. I'm not gonna argue with them. I tried. I pleaded my case a little bit. Kind of got laughed at, pretty much. Yeah. Whatever. I don't know if all flowers are like that. Bummer. I also, though, had set up a reload so I had a reload set up. So when I come back to Michigan, I'd grab this load. These two loads were going to be a banger. The amount of money I was going to make on these two loads for fucking barely any miles was going to be great. Let's get into this one. Here would have been my reload. That was a light load too. So the flowers would have been 15,000 pounds, by the way. Alright, so would have picked up in Holland, Michigan, which I did. So this would have been my reload. Holland, Michigan to Bristol, Indiana. 100 miles. Alright, so They wanted to pay $400 for this fucker, right? $400. I was on the phone asking for $600. Kind of tells you how I try. I do shoot for rates. Doesn't happen, but I try. They told me 500 originally. I said 550. Like trying to meet in the middle. They kept trying to say 500. I was like 550. Cause now I know I'm not getting 600. Now I'm wanting to come off 550 too much, right? I might a little bit, but not too much. So this load's already profitable, right? I'm just trying to make us some money from the last load that just fell apart. They said 509 is all they got. I was like, well, I'm pretty firm at 550. They were trying to talk me into taking this load, which should have been a sign that either those loads going to be shit or they had more money in it. Which consensus behind the scenes too, as I was talking to a couple other people that I work with too, says yeah, they probably had double what you're asking in it, which whatever. Everybody's got to get paid, right? It's not fair to me that I say pay me, but you're not allowed to get paid. Hypocritical attitude, by the way. This is the attitude of the truckers out here that are like and owner ops in the market. Everybody gets paid, and if you're not gonna deal with the shipper, then you don't get to bitch about how brokers get money. It's not how this fucker works. You want the money? Go get it. All right. So I got 525. That's what we ended up settling on. I held firm for $25 less. I tried. All right. It was same day delivery too, so that kind of helped. I was like, okay, whatever. Just pick up in the afternoon, deliver at night, whatever. My cut was 462, 50 miles deadhead. I did get Tanu though. I got 150, which that's a little low. That should be 250, but whatever. I forgot to mention that. So really, it paid for my deadhead out of Michigan, out of Detroit to Kalamazoo, then down to Holland. So I made I got paid $1 a mile pretty much for that little bullshit loop. Loaded was 110 miles. Let's be honest. Like I still can't bitch about this load. Total 160 miles for $288 a mile. Like yeah, it's a cheap run, same daily delivery. There's an extra $500 I didn't have before. Cold link, which wasn't bad. It's right behind the Flying J up in Holland. There's a warehouse there. They're building another warehouse. So you get the Speedway and Flying J. It's kind of like right behind it. Going to Monogram Comfort Foods. And, well, let's be honest. That place fucking blows. I mean, attitudes are fine. It's just tight as fuck. Because it's full of trailers. And yard docks just drop trailers wherever. And docks are a little close together. Like, I got in there without hitting anything. It was just some bullshit. Link, who was the broker, they got a 12-star stop. I forgot to write the weight down. It was fucking chicken. So let's just say 40,000 pounds, 30,000 pounds, somewhere in that range. Honestly, I don't care. It's going 100 miles. That weight isn't going to really hurt me. That's when things are getting interesting, because now I'm trying to figure out how to close out the week, which, fuck, that goddamn flour load hurt so bad. That flour load would have made this week so much better. It would have, I think, got me to about 6,800 for the week. Gross, but still, fuckers. You had one job. Just tell me I need E-Tracks, but whatever. All right, so I found this load. Why does that head back up to Holland, right? Because there was nothing else anywhere near Bristol. And I was looking, and then I found this, which is not a great load, but it was light-ish, so it helped. And honestly, at this point, since after I lost the flour load, I was just trying to just get as much money as I can, day runs, without sitting. That's because that flour load took out an extra $500 from me. Going from 1150. Well, actually, it took out almost $600 because going from 1012 to 462, ouch. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It hurt. That's what I'm just trying, just out sitting, not really losing much time, prep day runs, and just slam them apart. And just hope I get good fuel mileage, which that helped too. I still overfueled for this week because I was planning on running a little longer on Friday than it happened, but whatever. So I found his load, Holland, Michigan, Medford, Wisconsin. Paid $900. My cut was $792. Deadhead was $112. Right. Well, let's be honest. I'm gonna have deadhead in Bristol. Like there was fucking nothing. So I'm gonna have deadhead. Just Fort Wayne, Chicago, Napoleon, Toledo. I'm in the middle of nowhere on I-80. I'm gonna have to head somewhere, and this was the best option. Loaded was $493, total $605 for $1.30. Yeah. Wait, Cold Link is not behind the Flying J. It's this one, Perigo. It was going to Thomas Foods. Interesting setup. It was 27,000 pounds. It was a protect from freeze. So -50, 50 degrees, start stop. And it was baby formula, which I don't know what happened in the Midwest. It's just died. Just fucking died. And it hurts so bad right now. Nah, not really. Like honestly, I'm not suffering or struggling. Still making a profit. Still putting money aside. June is probably going to be when the money really starts getting put aside, as seasons start, rack up. But that was an easy load. Easy fucking load. Yeah, I got like fucking 9 MPG on that load. That was about 8.5 actually. Then a broker we work with asked me if I can come up in the air, if I can cover one of his little short runs, and I said, sure. He was trying to get this load to squeeze in for Friday, which it didn't. It's gonna be a Saturday morning delivery. Well, it was a Saturday morning delivery. So, rip. It would have been a nice week with this load, but whatever. But I ain't gonna talk about it because that's honestly now next week. I just figured I'd mention that it was an hour and a half off from being on this week. Showed it to this place though, and let me tell you, some people and the way they set up makes me go, because they're blindside offsets, right? They're more not quite straight backs, but it's barely this. Like it's this bad. Like here's a dock. It's a fucking it's blindside, but it's barely blindside. It's an offset. And I pull up, and while I'm checking in, I see a guy, like, he's set up for a blindside 90, which is, you don't really want to do that, even though there's plenty of room. But the fact he got out 4 fucking times before I even walked into the building and check in tells you shouldn't be doing that. Especially when you barely even have the ass of the trailer pointing towards the dock. Like, you're already out that many times. Which everybody's got to learn, but whatever. But there was no reason to set up like that. And to his credit, when I came back out, I was already in the truck. Once I saw what he was doing, I kind of wanted no part in it, because it's one of those where it just raises too many flags. I'm like, no thank you. Because it's just at some point, the liability could become my doing if I try to help him, right? But I was sitting in the truck, need him out of my way because he's in front of my docks. No hurry though, because at this point they're on lunch anyways, and I wasn't gonna get unloaded today, I wasn't gonna get loaded Friday, so whatever. So I was just waiting, and he tried 4 or 5 more times and got out, and at this point another guy walked in to check in and was coming back out, and he comes, at least he did the right thing. He came out asking for help, which, why not just back up or reset up? It's not like, how are you gonna learn if you don't understand what you did wrong? But yes, don't do a blindside 90 if you don't fucking have to. I think I have had to do it one time, And also, it's in the daytime. That's a lot easier. Let me tell you, at night, doing a blindside 90 when there is no fucking light, fuck that. I did about hitting shit, got out and looked 3 times. Very few things make me nervous. That was one of them. Also, yeah, I'm trying new drinks, by the way. This one is Raspberry Lemonade by True. Lemonade? Is it True? True Lemonade? I don't fucking know. Sorry, but Raspberry Lemonade, though. It's alright. It's not neither strong nor weak. I don't know how to explain it. It's just there. They have other flavors, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Raspberry Lemonade, but yeah, I get one of those boxes, and that's it. But we're gonna see what happens. Honestly, if I gotta ride these rates till I go home, I ain't gonna be happy about it. I'm probably about to be done for the Midwest till after I come out of the house, though. But if I come out of the house and the Midwest is still this awful, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen then. Might have to go back to chasing gross, like I did last year. Because last year, these are last year's numbers. Yeah, these are last year rates. Like, let me go back and give. Let me see. Let me go back to spot market last year. I did a lot of Midwest loads. Let's see here. Except that shit. We're not gonna talk about that load I did. That was just pure dumbness. There's one I did a lot of Northeast. Don't mind me. I don't edit these videos because, let's be honest, you guys like seeing me be dumb. So, why else are you watching? If you're even still watching at this point. I could have gotten apples from Medford yesterday. That would have delivered Sunday. And with the deadhead, it would have been like 218. I gambled and said I could have got better going west. And honestly, well, I don't know yet. It's possible. But it was going to Allentown and then New Jersey. So it would have been like $3,000. Because the apples do pay good. Honestly, I fucked up that one. I should have taken that. But I was tired of East Coast at that point. Okay, well, I guess I don't remember when I did all those Midwest loads, but yeah, there's just these rates are just I don't know. No idea. If Apple start picking up, I might just start running those. They pay anywhere from 218 to 240 a mile. Like I did. Okay, here we go. I just lost that one. Okay. Where did it go? I should have had this stuff all noted. Oh wait, something's coming in the wrong side of the notebook. That's why. That was my night loads. Man, some of these fucking loads I just did in January and early February. Can I add that revenue back? Like, my God, the amount of money I made in January. Like, I know that, like, I keep saying that, but I made like $37K gross in January. That's like roughly 8 to 9K more than made like the last 3 months. Like, not per month, that is, so like it's not hard if you do, 6 times fucking 4. It ain't hard to figure it out, right? The amount of revenue, like, I'm just trying to find something I can take advantage of again. And that was just weather. That was just, well, I know what I'm going to be doing next year. That's for damn sure. Whatever. You have fucking seen my apple loads before. I can't fucking find them. Like, I'm hoping my potatoes are back next year. Chris Fingers? Anyways. You guys experience these race drops? You guys find success at? Probably won't share. I don't blame you. I put my shit out there. But hey, at least the truck's going home for a couple of weeks here soon-ish. What? 3 weeks? I could live with it till then. Anyways, you guys stay safe out there. Catch you next time. Bye!